So this chapter is going to be about possibly the most fundamental thing in programming, or possibly the only thing in programming, manipulating and storing data. So what do we mean by data? For the perspective of the computer, what it sees is just a bunch of zeros and ones, which that's binary, and that gets translated into some form of data that's more recognizable. But Python sees that data not as necessarily zeros and one, but up a level of abstraction. It represents all its data in the form of what we call objects. It stores every single value from a number to strings to a web server as an object, which are these collection of data things about its data, and these cool actions that you can perform with it. From our perspective, we deal with data in two ways. You can deal with literals, which are things like 5 or 3.14159 or the text hello. These are all different types of literals where we literally type the value that we want and it's represented there. This is as opposed to what the computer sees, which is like zeros and ones. There are other types of ways that we can represent our data or refer to our data in our code, which is a variable, which looks kind of like you'd see it in math. You could use a variable x, and you can write an expression like x plus y using the variables x and y. But you can do something more elaborate, such as 5 times temp. So you don't necessarily need to have just one letter, which is a really nice feature here. But for the most part, we will be working with, to begin with, we're just going to be working with literals and one type of data. Numbers. Specifically, whole numbers. Nice, safe, whole numbers. So we're going to see what kind of operations we can perform on these whole numbers.